What's going on, guys? So we just came out of the marina. I got about a 10-mile run. We're going to be doing some weaver fishing today. Hopefully the water's nice and clear so I can actually get in and spear some of these fish. And I was going to say the weather's beautiful, but it's kind of windy. Luckily it's a westerly wind, so we'll be nice and calm at the spot I'm looking for. So about 10-mile run. I'll pick it up once we get there. Did really good with the fishing last week here, and actually found a marker. And this marker has, provides just a source for all life around here. So life will congregate. They'll go and feed off there, and they'll return back to the sand. So I tend to anchor up pretty much right next to the marker. It's about 20 feet of water. We're going to be setting out a few lines, and hopefully, if the fishing's really good, I'll get in and see how it looks from down there. But what we got to do first, the marker's coming up right here on my left side. We're going to be dropping anchor next to it. Seems to be a bit of a current pushing us left here. So probably going to anchor up current from this thing. And now this spot is really good because there is sand, literally there's like a sand area that stretches for miles here. So you could pretty much get weavers anywhere along here, but this spot seems to be, the current's really strong today. Wow, it's ripping, Jesus. But this spot seems to hold a lot more fish, I like to think, than most of these other spots here. You do actually also find other fish here. You find jumping mackerel, a lot of flatfish. So there's actually a really good amount of fish that you can catch here, besides just the weavers. But I think they are the easiest to spear and the best to eat, in my opinion. So I'm going to be keeping it here about idle speed. I'm going to get the anchor out. So we're going to drop right here. Put it neutral. And we're going to let the boat naturally drift back. It's the best way to anchor up at these spots, in my opinion. So the way the boat should sit is right next to that marker right there. Now this is just, a really good fishing spot. If you want to catch fish, you could pretty much come here any time during the summer when it's really nice and warm, and you can catch these weavers all day. So it's a super easy, during a warm summer day, you could come out here all day and catch these weavers. They're plentiful, they're all over the place, and they're just so good to eat. You really can't go wrong with the weavers. So I'm gonna be putting it through this hole that would be normally used for water skiing. And then I'm gonna tie it here. That's gonna make sure that the boat is gonna be facing it straight. I could have also had the bow facing this way, and I might actually change that depending on what kind of waves we're getting here. We'll see. Yeah, so I made sure we anchored behind the marker instead. It didn't seem like a good idea to be right in front of it in case something happens with the anchor. So the bait, very simple, just some frozen shrimp. Works great every time. I'm gonna put a smaller piece on this time. On the bottom in this strong current, I'm just gonna put this right behind the boat. So the theory is we're gonna chum up the water here. It's gonna fall down over there, and we're gonna get a take over there. Keep it right there on the bottom. This is actually after cooking. You get all these, look at all that. So you can just grab a handful. This will be as good as chum. Toss it out, that's gonna sink. If I was using something like, ragworm works, sure. It's more expensive and harder to get a hold of, but it works. But I just feel like shrimp gives off more of a scent. You know, I tend to get more. Yep, I got one. Right, as I was saying. Okay. He is not on. No, he's still on. What have I got? Oh, that's a nice one. There we go. So that is a weaver. That you might think that's a bit small. Yes, it's a small fish, but these fish are small. All right, so he's finally in the cooler, and we're gonna see if we can get another one. I mean, I just don't get it. I covered quite a bit of area actually, albeit the water was super murky, but I mean, I still feel like I should have seen a few more. I mean, the fishing was good, you know. In just a few minutes I got already a keeper fish, so I think I'm gonna keep doing that because it is just too tough to dive. I'm not sure if it was the spear that messed up that one shot I got. But I had 2 shots of them and I f***ed up, so we'll see. But nice place to sit here. It is a nice day, so. Man, I was thinking about getting the camera out because I've been slamming these weavers for a few minutes now, and I just got actually another nice one. I'm definitely on the money right now, so. Well, I'm just gonna toss this one out a bit above the bottom, depending on how you're fishing these. Since we got a bit of a current, I gotta stay a lot closer to the bottom. But that's fine. It's just you've always gotta look at, you know, what the weather's doing and how you can see if you can pick him up with these pliers here, so I don't actually touch him. So going back to the point here, I'm actually getting bit right now. Okay. You just gotta adjust to what the weather's doing, you know. Today we got pretty strong current. It's been blowing pretty consistently for the past couple of days, which is why the water looks the way it does. All right, so this spot is dying down a little bit, so we're gonna move up to a, let's see here. Oh, they took the shrimp. That means the shrimp float rig was working, so that's good. Yeah, so we're gonna be moving out to a deep pocket that I know is there. Then this spot started lighting up. This is crazy. The fishing that I've had the last few minutes has been just, I mean, look at all the blood. There's blood literally over the whole boat. I've had some crazy fish, actually some good sized ones too. And I think, you know, I've gotten so many fish today that this will probably be the last one that I'll keep, this upcoming one. And I've actually had good garfish too, about 3 of them. And I just, ooh, boo, 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 boo. So these, you know, weaver get, oh! Okay, you know what? You win some, you lose some. These weaver, I mean, it's just so many weaver in this cooler. It's crazy. I can't even count them. They really start feeding once the sun's gone down, you know? You could probably even night fish. I'm so stupid. You could probably even night fish for these fish, because they just go into absolute feeding mode once the sun's gone down, so. We just got a response. Let's see if he'll come back for it. This will be my last fish. I mean, I can't be out here until it's 12 a.m., you know, catching these fish, even though I could if I wanted to. Look at that garfish feeding on the surface right there. This spot is just so cool. That is so cool, seeing garfish feed like that. I want to chuck something over there. I'm going to chuck a shrimp over there. See if they'll eat this. I was just slammed. I'm getting slammed right here. Ooh. This is crazy, y'all. Oh, I see him. That's a weaver. Garfish had it, and then a weaver went for it. Ooh. I think I got him. There's like 3 of them. Got him, y'all. Got him. Oh, nice fatty. Look at that. There was like 3 of them down there. This guy is nuts. So I'm gonna hold him as strong as you can there. The hook comes right out. He goes in. Everybody's happy. Alright, so I think I've just about limited out with these fish. So I'm gonna show you how to clean one of these suckers. Alright, so this is one of our weaver. I'm gonna show you guys how to clean these fish. It's actually a very beautiful looking fish if you take a look. They have turquoise and blue markings, and some of them even have spots of red actually close to their heads. So beautiful looking fish. Now with these fish, I tend to find the easiest way is not to fillet them because you don't get all that much from the fillets. They're pretty skinny, but you cook the whole body, just like you fry it or pan fry it, whatever you want to do. The skin is so thin that it pretty much dissolves if you fry it, you know, in a certain way. So these fish are just perfect for the frying pan as they are. But you got to remove this point, which is the head. Now, on a weaver, you've got some spines. 3 spines here, and there's a hidden one right here. Now, I got stung by the hidden one because I didn't know, took the head off, filleted it, and stabbed myself. The main ones are also here, behind the gill. You can see there's 2 more spines. If you press hard enough, you'll see the venom shoot out. It's a really bad sting. You do not want to get stung by these. So fillet them and catch them at your own risk. Just so I warn you. All right, so easiest thing to do. I have a specially made fillet board with a spike here. It's welded on so it's not going to go anywhere. You want to stick the head of the weaver through the head like that, right? Then you know it's not going to be sliding around on you. You won't be stabbed. So then what we're gonna do is, you know, this is beautiful white meat back here, so we have to get a hold of this. Now, we wanna make sure we're aware of all the spines that are here, including that last one right there. So about here, where these end, I mean, this is all just fins, so that's harmless. You wanna go in, down towards the pectoral fins until you reach about here. Then you wanna angle your knife towards the anal fin of the fish, and you want to go down in a V, like that, right? And now you've gone through the whole stomach cavity pretty much, and this all goes in the water. You're gonna fry this whole thing. It's that simple to fillet these fish. They're super rewarding to catch because they're all over the place. They provide kind of a good fight on light tackle, and this is just a beautiful piece of fish, some of the best tasting fish you can find out here. Wash this off in salt water, and it's just as safe to eat as the cod. This head and the guts in the water. Simple as that. Now we've got a beautiful piece of fish, snow white meat, and this just goes great in the frying pan. All right, so it was a good day of fishing. I have a lot more fish to clean and fillet, so I'm gonna get going. We got 9 of these beautiful weaver that we caught yesterday while fishing. I'm going to show you a super simple recipe you can do at home. Takes very little effort. This is pretty much a 5-minute cook altogether. What you're going to start with is some all-purpose flour, and secondly we got our egg wash. That's going to be milk and eggs mixed, and it, doesn't really matter what ratio you got, just make sure that it looks like the video. And then in the third plate we got some panko breadcrumbs. It's about the best stuff you could fry these in my opinion. Always make sure you season the breadcrumbs. That's my personal way to do it. Everglades seasoning is the best all-around seasoning for this. I tend to go with fish and chicken or heat and some Everglades original. Now if you don't have fish and chicken, which is obviously the preferred thing, you could substitute with heat or even go with cactus dust if you really want to do it. But this is the best sort of all-purpose seasoning for fish, steak, any kind of protein. Alright, so next up we're going to watch the magic happen. We're going to see these fish falling in love with this setup that we got going on. So first we want to lightly dip them in flour, make sure they're coated on both sides. And then secondly we want to roll them in egg wash, make sure they're generously coated again. And so depending on how you dip it, you can even choose if you want a lighter sort of breading on it, or do you want a thick sort of more, like a fry layer on it. So lightly dip it if you want some light stuff, and then just press it down, try to roll it, try to get it in all the nooks and crannies if you want a more fried taste from these fish. Either way, they're a great eating fish. You can even do it without the frying. However, I'd recommend doing it so you don't actually overcook the skin, and then the fish doesn't stick as much in the pan if you do the frying method. Now, I don't care who you are, if you can't concede that this right here is a beautiful sight, then there is something wrong with you, brother. This is why I go fishing, for the food, right? I mean, it's a fun time being out there catching fish, making memories, sure. But it's a totally different feeling when you get to bring home that fish, process it, and then cook it, and see people taste it. I mean, that is really what fishing is to me. And so speaking of food, this is how I normally cook these. I'm using some sunflower oil actually, and I'm putting about a layer so that they can be half submerged, not entirely, but half submerged. So you're able to flip them, at the halfway mark, and then making sure that they cook evenly on both sides. You don't want them drowning in oil, and you don't want too little so that the inside middle portion won't get cooked right. So, and the reason why I'm using sunflower oil is that it's got a high burning point, and so you won't need to replace the oil. If you use frying oil, sometimes the oil will actually get burned, and you'll get a much darker layer of frying, which personally I'm not a big fan of. Now I was talking about beautiful sights before, but this is really where it is at. When you're hungry and you're watching this right here, it almost pushes you over the point. I mean, these fish are so good, and they're so worth the tiny bit of effort that you need to put in to actually make this happen. It's not a hard fish to catch, process, or cook, which is why it makes it so nice that it tastes the way it does. And so this is how your final result would look like if you followed these steps. I mean, it really doesn't get better than this. Make yourself, a side dish for these fish, and it's really hard to beat in terms of the fish we got here. I don't think anything comes close to the taste of this. It's my personal favorite from this ocean. Easy to catch, good, clean fun. Please, if you can, go out there and try this, but be careful of these spines. And so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. This is my first catch, clean, and cook I've ever done. Let me know what you think of it, and if you actually like this going forward. If you don't, then obviously this is going to be trashed. I won't be doing this. I'm not a very good cook. I mostly improvise. I follow things that I see online, things that I read. But if you like this format, then make sure to let me know in the comment section below. And so I'll keep doing this. But otherwise, we'll just stick to the normal fishing, diving, videography type schedule. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.